you know that crocodiles can't stick their tongues out? Pretty random, right? Well, not as random as today's video. That's right, today I'm going to be doing a Pokemon Y Hardcore Nuzlocke, but everything is randomized. Items, abilities, and even the Pokemon. The rules are as follows. I can only catch the first Pokemon in each route or area. If a Pokemon faints, it is considered dead and it can't be used. I can't use items in battle, but held items are a-okay. I have to play on set battle mode, and I must nickname every Pokemon. And because you guys liked it last time, I'm going to be doing it again. I'm naming my encounters after comments left on the channel. And if you want to be named after a Pokemon in the future, leave a comment down below. I'm super excited to show you how this video went, so let's jump straight into it. What is it with Pokemon and making their professors so good looking? I mean, look at this man. Anyway, we picked a female character because I like to mix things up, and we name her Pixie. We get attacked by a bird, change into our clothes, meet our friends, and then venture down Route 1, which is the only Route 1 in the franchise where you can't get a single encounter. What? Anyway, we meet with the rest of our friends who ask me for my nickname, and there's nothing like free advertisement, so we asked them to name and subscribe, which you should definitely do because I upload a ton of Pokemon content and I don't want you guys missing out. We get to see our starters, and there is definitely a Pokemon that stands out to me the most. What the hell? An Oddish, a Xerneas, and a Jinx. Okay, this is gonna have to be the way. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 3.
It's 3.
Oh no, oh no. So yeah, we do end up picking Jinx. We name her Yuna as she has a serious nature with the poison touch ability, but she also has Lovely Kiss, which is going to be super handy for catching Pokemon. With Yuna on our side, Shauna wants to take us on in a battle, and oh my god, she has a Xerneas. What? That is just not fair. She is a literal child. Why has she got a god on her side? Yeah, long story short, we lose the battle, but luckily Nuzlocke hasn't started, so this one doesn't count. We then run home and give Mum the love letter from Professor Sexy Pants, and then we are off on our adventure. Callum then insists on showing us how to catch a Pokemon, but come on mate, this is not our first rodeo. The fun thing about this first route is that the encounters on here have a 100% catch rate, which is even more sweet when we run into Mega Aerodactyl, and it has Drought. We catch it and of course have to name it after my guy Dando. Like we already know, it has Drought, but it also has a special attack up and speed down nature, which is just so bad. Whilst in Santaloon Forest, we find the Sacred Ash item, which is essentially useless because we can't revive any Pokemon. Once it's dead, but it is easy money at the end of the day. We also find a revive like 2 seconds later. I mean, what are the actual odds? But shortly afterwards, we run into our next encounter, a Tropius. We catch her and name her Dragon Void, and she has a neutral nature with the ability Hydration. After dealing with the trainers in the Santaloon Forest, we run into... I have this written down as Numeri, so from now on we're calling this Pokemon Numeri. We catch Numeri and she has a neutral nature with the ability Storm Drain, which is pretty dope, and we name her Inferno Kitty. Pretty cool name, by the way. Whilst in the next town, we come across a hidden item, an ability capsule, and because all of our abilities are randomized, this could make things pretty interesting. But not only are items randomized, but so are the secondary shops, which could be really useful down the line. Route 22 then gives us our next encounter, a Poliwhirl, who we name Hugo and has the ability Pure Power. This is going to be absolutely amazing. But with the team now trained up, it's time to take on Viola. She starts off by sending in Cloyster as we send in Eunice. Cloyster protects on the first turn, so we can't get any damage off. But on the following turn, we go for a pound, doing little damage, but trying to get the poison touch off, but it doesn't work. We then get hit by soft hitting Aurora Beam. On the following turn, we manage to get a pound off and actually get the poison. This is huge because that means we're not going to have to do as much physical damage because the poison is going to be able to chip away. We then get hit by Supersonic, meaning Eunice is now confused. We then go for another pound, but hit ourselves in confusion, as Cloyster sets up a withdraw, raising its defense. Eunice then manages to break through confusion and go for a Powder Snow, hitting Cloyster to about half, as Cloyster hits back with a really soft hitting Aurora Beam, doing next to nothing. But luckily, the poison is still chipping away at Cloyster's health. Eunice then not only hits itself in confusion, but gets hit by an Aurora Beam, taking Eunice down to the yellow. So we switch out into Hugo, who tanks an Aurora Beam. But on the following turn, Cloyster gets healed up with a potion. And to speed things up a little bit, after a few water guns and the poison, Cloyster goes down. Viola's last Pokemon is a Porygon Z, so we use Hypnosis to put it to sleep, switch into Dando, and after a few bites, Porygon Z goes down, winning us our first badge. Heading toward the next city, we run into Alexa, who is the sister of Viola. She gives us the experience share, which would be super handy if we didn't turn it off. We then run into our next encounter, an Aurorus, who I name El Piggy, who has an attack up and speed down nature, which is pretty cool, but to compensate for the lack of speed, it has the weak armor ability, meaning anytime it gets hit by a physical move, it has its defense lowered, but speed raised, which is you know, kind of meh. Lumiosity then brings us to our next big fight against Professor Sexymore. I mean Sycamore, who has 3 Pokemon for us to take on. The cool thing about taking on Sycamore is that if we win, we can receive one of 3 randomized Pokemon. He starts off by sending in Oshawott as we send out Dando, who obliterates the poor Otter with 1 wing attack. Arcanine then comes out next and we manage to hit it with a wing attack down to 1/4 of its health as it roars us into Eunice. Not good. But because we are 6 levels higher, I'm confident that we can outspeed Arcanine. And we do, hitting it with what I thought was a double slap, but ends up being a triple slap, which definitely came in clutch. Professor Sycamore's last Pokemon is none other than Mega Charizard Y. We put it to sleep with a lovely kiss and then switch out to Hugo as Charizard wakes up and uses Smokescreen. On the following turn we hit a bubble, leaving Charizard on half of its HP, as it fires back with a soft hitting Ember. One more bubble and Charizard goes down. Now it's time to pick us up a Mega What? I could have sworn the Pokemon we fought were equal to the Pokemon we got to pick. Ugh, fine. We pick Shelmet as we already have a Poliwhirl and I don't need another water type. Sorry, Buizel. We name Shelmet Luffy, who has a special attack up and special defense down nature. Not great, but we do get the Mold Breaker ability, which could come in clutch. The following route gives us a Luxio, who we catch and name Kino, a nice neutral relaxed nature with the ability Volt Absorb. But from here on out, if I don't mention an encounter, it is likely that I didn't end up using it, but I do show all the encounters towards the end of the video. We then find a Plume Fossil on our way to the next town, which will be revived into a random Pokemon when we make it to Ambret Town. In an attempt to retrieve the Pokéflute from the mansion, we are required to corner this Furthrow, which we do successfully and rewarded by a strangely intimate time with Shauna. We then wake the sleeping Snorlax only to find out it's a Chatot. Great. We catch him and name him Steve. I said I wouldn't mention every Pokemon we catch, but this one just happens to have Pixelate. How fitting. So we leave him in a box never to be seen again. Shortly afterwards we are challenged to a 2v2 battle. Myself and Callum versus Tierno and Trevor. They send out a Nidoran male and a Haunter as we send out Dragon Void and a Scrafty. We hit a Razor Leaf on both opposing Pokemon, doing less than 1/4. Scrafty takes Nidoran out with a Feint Attack. Hippopotas is out next and avoids our Razor Leaf, but Haunter gets hit to just under half as Scrafty takes it out with another Feint Attack. The following turn, a combination of Razor Leaf and Feint Attack smacks Hippopotas down, winning us the fight. In the connecting cave we run into a horde and decide to pick the Jolteon out of it. We name him Tips, who turns out to have a modest nature. Perfect. Also the ability Anger Point, which is, you know, fine, could have been worse. Once we're in Ambret Town, we pick up the Old Rod and immediately go and get our encounter for Ambret Town's fishing encounter, and it turns out to be a Keldeo? Wow! I haven't used one of these since like the Black and White 2 days, so this is going to be super awesome. We catch him and name him BP, who has a bashful neutral nature and the ability Soundproof. This is going straight on the team. We head to the fossil lab and find out we can't revive our fossil until the assistant is back from the glittering cave. So we head over and go and find him, and it's a good thing we do, as the place is swarming with the evil team of this game. Team Flare. In the glittering cave we do run into another encounter, a Superior who we catch and name AJM TV, and he has the Flash Fire ability, which is so dope for a grass type. After dealing with Team Flare and inviting the fossil assistant back to the lab, we can now revive the 2 fossils we picked up, and they turn out to be a Ferroseed and a Goodra. Oh man, a fully evolved dragon at this early stage in the game? Don't mind if I do. We add Goodra to the team and we name him Joz, who has an attack up and defense down nature with the ability Tough Claws, increasing any physical attacks that we use. What a beast. We then head to Silage City where we can pick up the bike, and then shortly afterwards we go fishing and fish up a Raichu. We name it after my friend Tom, and he has a quiet nature, which is up in special attack but down in speed. Not bad, but not great. But the biggest win out of this is that Tom is holding another ability capsule. Let's go. Time for gym number 2, and it feels like forever since we took on a gym. Grant starts out by sending in a Deoxys of all things? Speed form too? What the hell, Grant? We send in AJM TV and we get hit by a soft knockoff, knocking off our Grip Claw. But no matter, we go for Leech Seed and gradually drain away a Deoxys' health. Deoxys then goes for Double Team as we set up Growth to increase our offensive stats. We then get hit by a Nightshade doing 25 damage, but manage to get off another Growth, and then the following turn, we rinse and repeat. Deoxys goes for another Double Team in a futile attempt to avoid our attacks, but AJM TV is smarter than that and we land a 3 times boosted Stab Leaf Tornado, taking Deoxys down. Grant is clearly panicking as he sends out an Omanyte last, who is 4 times weak to grass type moves, and 1 Leaf Tornado destroys it in a single hit, winning us the battle and securing us the second badge. On the route north of Silage City, we run into our next encounter, a Monferno. Joz hits it to the yellow with a Dragon Breath, but then Monferno hits us with a Fury Swipes, and because we have the Rocky helmet attached, every time Monferno hits us, it takes damage from the held item. resulting in it fainting and us losing the encounter. Oh, that is so annoying. As we go to leave Geocentre Town, we run into Karina, the third gym leader, and she wants to battle us before the gym with her 2 Lucarios? Wait, that's not a Lucario. I mean, it's still a fighting type, but still. She ends up having a Heracross and a Mega Medicham of all things. And as scary as they are, we manage to take them down with ease. But we don't get the gym badge.
That doesn't seem fair.
With Route 11 opened up, we run into a horde of Pokemon and decide that the best out of the bad bunch would be Typhlosion. We catch him and name him Zeefski. He has an attack up and defense down nature. Not bad. Whilst heading through the next cave, we find an item on the floor which just so happens to be a Master Ball. What? What is our luck, honestly? Once we make it out of the cave, we see this beautiful building, the Tower of Mastery, where our rival wants to test our strength in a battle. I forgot to mention this, but at some point between Gym 1 and 2, we had our game mess up, meaning that we had to re-randomize, so our rivals won't necessarily have the same starters as they did in the beginning. But be that as it may, Callum sends out Igglybuff. Dude, what is this thing? Like, bro, come on. Dando makes easy work of it with a single wing attack, and the same goes for his Jigglypuff on the next turn. I swear mate, if you have a Wigglytuff, I'm never going to let you live this down. And his last Pokemon is... oh, the Cyndaquil. Bop! Dead. I could have skipped this battle in its entirety, but it was just too funny not to keep it. Oi, Karina! You owe me a badge! Wait, why do you have a Thundurus? Oh, come on! We set up a Leech Seed before switching out as Thundurus hits us with a Swagger. We send out Eunice, who gets hit by a bite and gets knocked down in one hit. I was so confident we weren't going to lose anyone in this run. Right, that's it. Things have gotten personal. Tips comes out and after a few Thundershocks, Thundurus is left in the red, but due to Leech Seed, this Jinx killing monster goes down. Her next Pokemon is Tyranitar. This isn't an issue though, as we send in AJM TV, who gets hit by a Scary Face on entry. The following turn we get hit down to 40 HP by a Thrash, but to make things worse, our Leaf Tornado misses, and due to that miss, and because I can't guarantee anyone else can take a turn 2 Thrash from T-Tar, AJM TV goes down. We send out BP, who goes for an Aqua Jet but barely does a quarter, but luckily T-Tar hits itself in confusion. The following turn we then go for a triple kick, but we only hit once. What the hell, this is not going well. T-Tar breaks through confusion and hits a Scary Face to lower our speed by 2 stages. The following turn, BP gets hit by a Thrash, taking us to just above half as we go for a triple kick, only hitting once. Again, another Thrash leaves us on 21 HP as we finally hit a triple kick that hits more than once, resulting in T-Tar going down. Minun is last out and we switch into Tips, who gets hit by a critical hit Spark on entry, which is a huge mistake for Minun as we now have our attacks maxed out thanks to our ability, meaning that in the next turn we can outspeed and go for a double kick which destroys the puny mouse, and winning us the 3rd badge. But at what cost? As tough as that battle was, at least we now have a guaranteed Mega Pokemon for Karina at the top of the Tower of Mastery, and it just so happens to be a Mega Mewtwo X. Oh hell yes! Wait, Karina has a Mega Aggron? If this beats us, we lose this Mega. We go for a Future Sight turn 1 as this is our only damaging Psychic move, but avoid taking any damage as Aggron goes for Protect. We then hit a Swift doing next to nothing as we get smacked to just above half from a Stab Iron Head. We then go for another Swift, doing small damage again, but we get hit down to 15 HP. But luckily, Future Sight comes in last minute to save us, taking Aggron down to the red, meaning on the next turn, a Swift can take it down. Which means we get to keep our Mega Mewtwo, let's go! With Mewtwo now added to our team, Callum congratulates us by giving us the TM for Surf. BP is gonna love this. But then outside the 4th gym, the tables turn as Callum wants to battle. But we're so over this. Bop, boo, skadoosh. Get it? Skadoosh, because it's a panda, like Poe from the hit movie. Ramos is the most forgettable gym leader in Kalos and starts off the battle with a Dragalge as we send out my guy BP. So we go for a Surf, but this stupid Seahorse has Dry Skin. Are you serious, bro? Dragalge then goes for a double team, 3 turns in a row as we switch into El Picky and miss our Freeze Dry. Dragalge then hits us with a Water Pulse, doing next to nothing, but to speed things up, we go back and forth exchanging Freeze Dries and Water Pulses, meaning Ramos uses up his Hyper Potions before we manage to hit an Avalanche through all of the double team setups and one-hit Dragalge. Poliwag then comes out next and goes for a Belly Drum as we hit it with a Thunder Wave before switching out to Tips, who gets hit by a soft Mud Shot on entry, doing little damage but allowing us to outspeed next turn and take it down with a Thunder Shock. Ramos' last Pokemon is a Bunnelby who goes down after a couple of double kicks and a Thunder Shock, meaning we have won the 4th badge. The section between Gym 4 and 5 is the bit I always find the most tedious and boring, but I'll summarise. The power is off in Lumiose, obviously it's Team Flare behind this, I smacked them up and now we're on our way. Wow, look, pretty lights! Clement has 3 Pokemon with his ace being level 37, so in theory, we shouldn't have a tough time. Let's see how it goes. I start out by sending in Dando as Clement sends out Typhlosion, and we hit it down to just under half of its HP with Ancient Power, as it counters back with a Flame Charge, doing next to nothing, but it does increase its speed. But because Typhlosion outspeeds, it is able to get up a defense curl before I can hit it with a Crunch, meaning it survives on a slither of HP, which is going to trigger Clement to use a Hyper Potion. A Crunch does about a quarter as Typhlosion hits us with a soft hitting Flame Wheel on the following turn, after which we can smack it with another Ancient Power down to the red, which then triggers another Hyper Potion of course from Clement, but that same turn we use Crunch to chip away at his health, and then after one more Ancient Power and a Crunch, we finally take down the Fire Ferret thing. Clement then sends out Mega Gardevoir of all things, but after 2 crunches, and the last being a crit, we take him down without taking any additional damage. Arcanine is out last and we pummel it with an Ancient Power to just under half as we get roared out, resulting in Jaws coming in to finish the battle off with a Dragon Breath. That was kinda long, but I'm glad we made it through with no casualties. And that's the 5th badge obtained. Callum stops us once again on the way to the next gym, and like, dude, do you want to kiss or something? No? Just a battle? Fine, okay then. His Bronzong is easily dealt with after 2 crunches, and his Mega Heracross? I mean, fine, right, whatever. He's squashed down with a single fly, and then his Wigglytuff is absolutely obliterated by a fly and a crunch. Poor guy, you should really consider getting some stronger Pokemon, bud. After Callum runs away crying, we run into a Squirtle who we named Squirt Spice. After my friend Psyduck Spice, who if you haven't checked out you should definitely do so, he does some awesome Pokemon challenge runs. Gym 6 is really creepy and makes me feel like I'm in some kind of saw trap. Let's get out of here as quick as we can. Valerie starts off by sending in a Shelder? I haven't randomized the game for a while, and on reflection I feel like I should have made it so that every Pokemon is fully evolved past level 30, so things like this don't happen. But hey, we move. Shelder gets sent to the Shadow Realm by Tips with a discharge, and in comes Flabebe, who survives in the red after getting hit by a discharge and sets up a grassy terrain. Then we do a little bit of back and forth between Flabebe getting healed up and me discharging until we get a crit taking it down. And then last in is Hoppip. Okay, I'm sorry, I really need to change these randomization settings in the future, but yeah, 1 discharge and poof, Hoppip explodes into nothingness and we find the 6th badge in its place. Wow, morbid. After fleeing the scene of the brutal massacre, we come across more crime at the Pokeball factory, where we use our protagonist's plot armor to stop Team Flare from being bad.
Hey! Stop it! Stop it! Okay. Okay? Okay.
Oh, a Master Ball. Thanks. The next route gives the amazing encounter of Tyranitar, which I don't think I actually end up using, but pretty cool nonetheless. Star Yoshi, why don't you keep the rest of our Pokemon in the PC company? Cheers, bud. In the Ice Cavern we come across another fossil, which we end up reviving into a Venusaur. It has the Shed Skin ability, and no nickname. Nice one, Pixelate. Nailed it, mate. We then come across Team Flare harassing the abominable snowman.
Stop it!
There you go, lad. Don't worry about it. Shortly after we head towards the next gym, but on the way the Mamoswine were riding steps on a Marwile, which upsets it for some reason. We apologise by capturing it for eternity inside this pocket-sized ball. I'm glad we did catch her because not only does she have the ability Parental Bond, but somewhere along our journey we pick up the Mega Stone, meaning Marion can turn into a Mega Marwile with Parental Bond. Wow, that is broken. With Marion now on my team, it's time to take on... Oh my god, Callum, go away! Can you leave me alone for like 2 seconds without the constant need to test my strength? Have you won a battle once? In fact, this whole time I've been roasting you, we've had enough time to beat you in a battle. What, you think because you got a Mega Sizzle you can actually do something? Get your weak ass out my face. I don't want to see your stupid Wigglytuff ever again. Do you actually think I have time for you? Jesus dude, be more considerate. Sorry about that, I kinda lost my cool. Do you think I went a little too far? Now I said this before and I'm going to say it again. If I do another randomizer, I'm making the gym leaders harder, or at least giving them fully evolved Pokemon, because Marwile one-shotted everything that Olympia had, without the need to Mega Evolve as well, and it seems a little unfair. But that being said, we got the badge, and there is only 1 more left. But before that can happen, turns out Lysandra hates the world, and now that's my problem. A mere 10-year-old child has to stop a fully grown man from being a moron. We make easy work of him with Marion, who mega evolves and single-handedly takes down the goofy head individual. This then allows us to go further into the lab, where we're in a red pill, blue pill situation, where we can turn the world destroying machine off, but frankly it doesn't matter, as regardless of which we choose, they're setting it off. To be honest, that's quite rude. Oh, Callum, about last time. I'm sorry if I overreacted. You're actually a really nice guy, but you caught me in a tense moment, and I appreciate you being here now in my time of need. Lysandra, are you crying? I understand this is a heartwarming moment, but let me make you cry by beating your ass into the ground. We send out Dando as Ferrothorn is sent out by Lysandra. We go for a fly and smack it to just below half as Ferrothorn hits back with a massive Iron Head, dropping us to about a quarter. Zivsky taps in and tanks an Iron Head and retaliates back with a flamethrower, literally melting Ferrothorn into the ground. Gastrodon is in next and we're clearly at a disadvantage, so we send in Venusaur, who destroys Gastrodon with a single Petal Dance. Venipede is in next and takes a Petal Dance pretty well and then hits back with a Steamroller, which doesn't do too much, but means we're going to have to switch back into Zivsky. And after tanking a Steamroller, a Blue Flat on the following turn takes Venipede down. And last in is a Sperm Cell. Yeah, we send it into Oblivion and we win. Big Pogaroonies. Why did I say that? After we leave Lysandra crying like a little we make our way down to the bottom of the building where we find the legendary Pokemon Yveltal, which randomizes into Furfrou. Oh come on, I need to get better at this randomizing thing. Lysandra is kind of pissed that I took his dog, and in all honesty dude, you can have it back, I don't want it. Oh okay, we're battling? Sure. Wait. What the hell are you wearing? Lysandra's Dodrio is taken down by a discharge from Tips, then a Garbodor is in next who barely survives a discharge as Tips gets poisoned by a Toxic, but a single quick attack takes down a big pile of garbage on the next turn. Golbat is sent out so we go for a discharge, but it has Motor Drive of all things? What are the odds? With a combination of Poison Fang and a poison damage, Tips is left on low in the yellow, meaning we're going to have to switch out. We send in Dando, who hits Golbat with an Ancient Power and a Crunch, taking it down. Last in is Manectric, who turns out to be his Mega. We should probably switch out, so we switch into Marion, as Manectric uses Raw. Terrific. Well, luckily Zivsky is dragged out, and after a single Blue Flare, we take down Manectric, winning us the match and inevitably killing Lysandra. Wow, what a fun game made for children. With the world saved, it's time to take on Gym 8. Oh, Professor Sycamore. Hey there. A battle? Yeah, why not? I bet you have a super strong team. Oh. This is underwhelming. Yay? We win? I guess? But surely that is the only thing that will get in our way before the gym. Oh wait, it's a friendly reminder to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. Ugh, time for more fights. Cue the music montage. With our friendships absolutely ruined, we head to Snowbell City, where we find yet another Master Ball. Okay, sure. BP is out first and Donphan is sent out by Wulfric. I go for a few Source Dances as BP tanks an Earthquake and it gets its speed dropped by a scary phase before BP can use Aqua Jet, getting a crit and taking down Donphan. Blitzle comes out next and hits BP with a Wild Charge twice because it has Parental Bond. BP survives on 18 HP and retaliates with a Sacred Sword and takes the little zebra down. Vigoroth is Wulfric's last Pokemon. Due to the speed drop from Scary Face from the beginning of the fight, it is unlikely we're outspeed, so we switch into Marion on a Focus Punch who tanks it with ease. We Mega Evolve and get hit by a Soft Chip Away, and after a few Iron Heads and Play Roughs, Vigoroth goes down, which means we win the battle and the 8th badge. Before we head to the Elite Four, I think we should get one more encounter, just in case. And holy mother of god, Black Keyrim. Yes, we've earned this. We catch them and name them E. It has the ability Adaptability, which is so strong. As we're going through Victory Road, Callum is seeking out revenge for us lashing out on him previously. I mean, that's kind of fair. Callum's Natu gets absolutely demolished by a Fusion Bolt, Garchomp comes in next and we go for a Free Shock, which doesn't hit until the next turn, which leaves us wide open to a Dragon Rush, which leaves E on about a quarter before it can take out Garchomp next turn. Shiftry is out next, so we switch into Zivsky, who singes Shiftry with a Flamethrower down to 0 HP, and Tynamo faces the same fate. Wigglytuff comes out next and gets hit to the red with a Blue Flare, and we get the burn, but Wigglytuff barely survives after the burn damage, but we can take it out with a quick attack, which wins us the battle. We did have a bit of a rocky rivalry, but we kept things interesting. See you around, Callum. Before we leave Victory Road, we come across our last encounter, a Heatran. We use our Master Ball and call them Baz. It has the ability Gale Wings, but you know, it's what it is. Alright, let's recap before the Elite Four. The team I've decided to go against the Elite Four and the champion with is Notflex the Mewtwo with Disarming Voice, Psychic, Recover and Body Slam, holding the Mewtwo Knight X. Tips the Jolteon with Discharge, Quick Attack, Blue Flare and Thunder Wave, and holding the Magnet to boost electric moves. Marion the Mawile with Icicle Crash, Play Rough, Sucker Punch and Iron Head holding the Mawilite. Jamanuel the Flygon with Curse, Screech, Dragon Claw and Earth Power holding the Rocky Helmet. Baz the Heatran with Crunch, Iron Head, Blue Flare and Fire Spin holding the Charcoal to boost those Fire type moves. And finally, BP the Keldeo with Aqua Jet, Sword Stance, Sacred Sword and Surf holding the Black Belt to boost Sacred Sword. I also show off the Pokemon we caught but may not have mentioned in the video. I feel like the team I have here it has a pretty good amount of coverage and are pretty strong, but there are some awesome Pokemon that could have made the team, like Venusaur, Goodra, Black Kyurem and a few other legends that we came across. But with that being said, let's take on the Elite Four. We start off against Wickstrom, the Steel Elite Four member who, well, obviously isn't a Steel Tribe trainer anymore, but regardless he sends out Electros as we send out Jamanuel, and we go for a Curse to raise our attack and defense, but at the cost of lowering our speed. But Electros only hits us with a soft crunch. We go for another 2 curses, and Electros hits us with a small crunch, but the other hand is, due to Rocky Helmet, Electros' HP is dropped to half before we can even hit it. We get hit to under half with a crunch, but Dragon Claw takes it down. We then sweep through the rest of the team with absolute ease. That's 1 down, 3 to go. Drasnoza are up next and she starts off with a Seal with Snow Warning. On not risking the quad effective ice type move, so we switch into tips. Lucky we did switch as Seal goes for an Ice Beam which doesn't do too much as we counter back with a Discharge taking it out. Glaceon is out next and gets melted with a Blue Flare. Gulpin is out next and gets zapped into its grave with a Discharge. Mantico's out last and you can tell what happens here. Tips, Discharge. 2 down, 2 to go. Seabold is next and he starts with Swampert as we send out Notflex. And before we entered the Elite Four, I didn't see much use in Disarming Voice, so I taught Mewtwo Woodhammer. And how perfect is this matchup? We Mega Evolve and a quad effective Woodhammer takes Wiggo down. Bidoof? Seriously? 1 Psychic takes it down. Honedge comes out next and gets bopped with a Psychic, making it go down too. Parasect comes out and with Notflex being weak, we switch into Baz, who gets hit for a measly 6 HP damage, meaning that we can outspeed and sizzle Parasect into Ash with a Blue Flare, winning us the battle. 3 down, 1 to go. Malva is the only person standing between us and the champion. Malva sends out Mandibuzz as we send out Notflex, but this is a bad matchup, so we switch into tips, as Mandibuzz goes for an Embargo. We then go for a Discharge, taking Mandibuzz down to the red as we get hit by a Whirlwind, bringing out Marion. Forgetting Malva will heal up, we go for a Sucker Punch, which fails, meaning Mandibuzz is now back at the full HP. But a single crit Play Rough takes it down next turn. Koffing comes in and gets hit to the red with a Parental Bond Iron Head, but then goes for Destiny Bond. So now I have to be careful. I fell for the same mistake twice and go for a Sucker Punch as Malva heals up. I go for Icicle Crash but miss, and Koffing takes itself down with Memento. Rotom Fridge Form or Mac and Cheese is out next, and not only do we get hit by a Discharge down to the yellow, but we get paralysed, and to top things off, we go for an Iron Head and Rotom has Wonder Guard. Bro, what the this means there is only one thing we can do. Switch into Jamanuel on a Discharge, which is a free switch because we are ground type, and then go for an Earth Power, taking it down and winning us the match. Oh, I also forgot, and I'm only doing this now since I'm editing, but there was a Swalot left on the team, and after a few Earth Powers, that goes down, and we win the match. But now the Elite Four are dealt with. The only person standing in our way from achieving the champion status is Diantha. Dr. Jill! Ah! Rotom, are you serious? Are you serious? Wonder Guard Rotom! Oh, it's a good thing we led with Flygon. Christ. Earth Power, straight away. Has to be Earth Power. One shot it, please. Please. Oh, thank God. Luckily, we are able to take down Rotom as Leafeon comes in, so we switch to Baz. Oh, you dummy. You dummy. Blue Flare is going to absolutely destroy you. Absolutely, it was one shot anyway. Yeah, Leaf Blade all you want. It's not going to do anything. And a crit. Oh, you're about to get so burnt. Burnt to a crisp. Leafeon goes down in one shot thanks to the Sunny Day, boosting our Blue Flare massively. Yox's attack form? Fine. The sun's up. Super. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear. 1 HP? Are you serious? Are you actually serious? Oh, 1 HP! Heatran! You absolute beast. There is no way we're staying in. There is literally zero way we're staying in. Absolutely not. Nobody, nope. All of the nope. Yeah, we're not staying in at all. No. Marion. Yeah, I know we're part steel. Yes, part steel type, but we have fairy type moves. Close combat. We can live that. We can live a close combat. Are we going to get outsped? We're going to get outsped, aren't we? It doesn't matter if I Mega Evolve. I'm not going to Mega Evolve, but we're going to go for a Play Rough. God damn it, no, Marion, no! Oh, no! The last battle, Marion, no! That sucks. You suck, Gallade. You suck big time. It's fine. It's fine. Psychic, one-shot Psychic. Why are you protecting? Why? You cannot prevent the inevitable. Boom. Dead. Dead. God, what is... Are you serious? A Delibird? A Delibird? I'm not even going to Mega. I don't need to. Psychic one-shot it. Stupid penguin. Her Mega's an Abomasnow? Oh no, our fire type's weak. Oh dear. Do we go Mega v Mega? I'm part fighting type then, so I think I resist ice. And then we could just go for a Psychic. We're Mega Evolve and then go for a Psychic. I think that's probably the best bet here. I think. Oh, why is this so tense? We're not going to lose. We're going to outspeed, and it has parental Abomasnow. You silly goose. You silly goose. We just got Psychic parental bot. It didn't kill. Okay, that's what. Woodhammer, I swear to God. You stupid Christmas tree. Oh my God, let's go! It died to its own Woodhammer. It died to its own Woodhammer. That's incredible. Oh my God, let's go. And there we have it. This is how I beat a Pokemon Y randomizer hardcore Nuzlocke. What an amazing experience this was. I had a ton of fun, and if you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment so I can nickname Pokemon after you in the future. Alright, see you later. Bye.